On the news, police transfer 76 Russian flag-flying suspects to Abuja, plan sedition charges. Court extends order restricting Abuja protesters to National Stadium. And President Tinubu commissions 30 hybrid CNG-powered buses in Abuja. Glad to have you join us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Atuku. Following the recent nationwide hunger and end bad governance protests, the Kano State Police Command has transferred 76 Russian flag-flying suspects, including a foreign national, to the force headquarters in Abuja for discreet investigation on charges of sedition. Addressing the press on Monday, the Kano State Commissioner of Police Salman Garba provided updates on the ongoing investigations and arrests concerning the unrest. The commissioner also revealed that 150 individuals have been arrested and are being prosecuted for violating the curfew imposed by the Kano State government during the protests. 6 other suspects have also been apprehended for their alleged involvement in the destruction, arson and looting of the Kano printing press. The issue of protesters waving Russian flags during the hunger and end bad governance protests in the northern part of the country has been described as a threat to Nigeria's sovereignty. Speaking on the station's flagship program, DG 360, a former director at the Department of State Services DSS, Dennis Amakri, says thorough questioning of the suspects will reveal relevant information. He also called for enhanced security at the nation's northern borders.
We are seeing a situation of what we call subversion. Subversion. Somebody is trying to subvert the Nigerian sovereign state. And subversion is high treason. So this is where we are. And of course, I'm happy that they are handling it, but they have to go deeper because, you see, it's not the tailor. And it's not even the contractor who told the tailor to sew. There are people who are behind this. Forget about what Russia told you. Russia came out to say, "Oh, we are not involved in this." What do you really expect Russia to say? That we were involved? You know, even if they were involved, they will not say anything. But we have to watch it because geopolitics. Russia wants a foothold in Nigeria, especially. Commander-in-Chief of the armed forces should realize now that in our northern boundaries, our northern neighbors, the neighbors of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, the AES states, are backing or they are being backed by Russia. Yes. And Russia has been selling them armaments, large, serious armaments. And of course, sometimes they bring it out to display, like in Burkina Faso. Even in Niger, there are large armaments being supplied to them and they display them. Now, if something like this is happening, what does it mean? It means that there is a foreign power that is trying to galvanize forces possibly against Nigeria. Because let Nigeria not think that, oh, the days where another country will invade another country is over. No, not at all. Even the leader of, was it Mali? Mali has said it, that one of these days they will. When we told them that ECOWAS is going to attack them, they said let them try it, because when they try it, they will march into Nigeria. They see it as a Nigerian fight, not as an ECOWAS fight, because ECOWAS chairman is Nigerian. So we have to be very careful. If I was the president, I would close those borders. And at the same time, make sure that, you know, we put the military, because the military should know that this is the real job. It's not internal security. The real job is fighting against foreign enemies.
Meanwhile, a High Court of the Federal Capital Territory FCT has extended the order restricting participants in the #EndBadGovernance protest against the federal government to the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. The Justice Sylvanus Orji extended the order on Tuesday following an application to that effect argued by our senior lawyer Ogu James Onoja on behalf of the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike. Back in July, Justice Orji had, in an ex parte application argued by Onoja on behalf of the FCT minister, applied for an order of interim injunction restraining the 5 leaders of the protesting groups from gathering or parading themselves along any roads, streets, offices and public premises within the FCT between August 1 to 10 or any other day thereafter, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. President Bola Tinubu has commissioned 30 hybrid compressed natural gas CNG-powered buses donated by the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPMAN, at the State House in Abuja on Monday. Speaking at the commissioning, President Tinubu says utilizing natural gas to power Nigeria's transportation industry aims to ease the burden of transportation on citizens brought following the removal of petrol subsidy. There are details in this report. The symbolic commissioning of the CNG-powered buses comes months after President Tinubu's announcement at the COP28 in December 2023 of Nigeria's renewed efforts to reduce carbon emissions and modernize the nation's transportation system. The first batch of 30 new CNG buses donated by the Depots and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPMAN, and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited are designed, manufactured and delivered by Inosin Motors, an indigenous vehicle manufacturing firm. Receiving the buses on behalf of the government, President Tinubu assures the significant innovation will enhance Nigeria's transportation system and help ease transportation challenges faced by citizens.
Countries like India have mandated CNG for all commercial vehicles since 2004. And in Nigeria, commercial vehicles make up about 80% of our petrol demand, costing us trillions of naira each month. The solution is here. We have it. We will work on it. We promise you, definitely, things will get better. Prosperity will be achieved.
Speaking further, the Minister of Information and National Orientation says the move aligns with global trends towards cleaner energy and positions Nigeria as a leader in transitioning to a low-carbon economy.
It's going to move gradually away from very expensive PMS to the CNG that is really very cheap and very affordable to most Nigerians. What this means is that Nigerians are going to be saving money. The environment is also going to be cleaner because fossil fuels are usually less environmentally friendly. The CNG initiative is one that designed to first save money for Nigerians and secondly also make the environment cleaner and more habitable for all of us.
Describing the formal unveiling of the buses as a game-changer for Nigeria's transport sector, the chairman of DAPMAN, Winifred Akpani, gives details of their capacity.
At least every state you go to in Nigeria, you should be able to see these CNG buses. And that's what is so important, that there are CNG buses and they are supposed to bring down the cost of transportation. As we heard the president say that 80% of fuel is being spent on commercial vehicles, and we're hoping that this one will, to a large extent, enhance our stride to prosperity in Nigeria.
The Nigerian government believes the gradual shift to CNG-powered vehicles will undoubtedly complement the nation's carbon market activation plan, which focuses on leveraging natural gas as a transition fuel alongside other renewable energy sources. Simisola Adigun, TV 360 News. Well, let's discuss the symbolic launch of the 30 hybrid CNG-powered buses further. I'm now joined by economist Dr. Aki Okusa. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking to us. Now, the launch of these 30 CNG-powered buses is coming shortly after the 10-day nationwide hunger and end bad governance protest. Now, how strategic is this move at this time by President Bola Tinubu?
Yeah, I think it's really, really strategic. Is long overdue because the president actually promised these buses would be in use since 2023 in his Independence Day speech. So it's actually long overdue. But we need more of these buses. 8 is not enough for the whole nation. And probably we would also like the governors to also key into this. It's actually strategic economically as a result of lower costs of transportation. Nigerians will be able to transport, themselves from one place to another on a lower cost of transportation, which is just like an alternative means of transportation, especially mass transportation in Nigeria. So lowering the cost will also help to lower some cost of goods and services. But how many Nigerians can actually, take advantage of this? Just 8 buses. I'm sure 8 buses is not enough for even one state, not to talk of the whole nation. So I think just from what the president says, this is the first phase. So we'll continue to look up to the other, phases as these buses will be coming in, and possibly looking forward to state governors also keying into this initiative, especially also for environmental, climate change purposes. We're going to have clean energy. The pollution of the environment, will also be cleaner. We're going to have less of pollution of these vehicles. So there are so many advantages to this.
Now, the president says commercial vehicles make up about 80% of Nigeria's petroleum demand. Now, how far will this initiative go in addressing this huge demand for PMS? And also, how would it support the nation's economic development?
Yeah, it's a good one. It will actually, help to reduce, the cost of transportation, just like I've said. The initiative is a welcome development, but we want more of it. If it's just a little number that we have, we'll not really achieve that 80% that they're talking about. So possibly, government also need to issue a policy around this. That's what they do in, the civilized environment. The government will issue a policy and say, between now and the next 3 years, all public transportation vehicles have to be CNG, CNG powered. So that all the state governors and also possibly private, transport owners will begin to plan towards, migrating from the fuel or diesel consumption buses to the CNG buses. Until we have such policy, if it's just only government buses that will just be CNG, we might not really achieve that 80% because the private sector does so much in transportation system in Nigeria. So if the private sector is not keen in, as a result of the policy of government, we might not really achieve that 80%. So what we need around this is for government to draft a policy around it and say, okay, from 2027, for example, we want all our commercial vehicles to be CNG powered. So I think that will now help government to achieve that 80% and also achieve a cleaner environment, sustainable environment, by reducing pollution, cleaner energy, and, all sorts of that.
All right, then, economist Dr. Aki Okusa, thank you for sharing your thoughts and insights on the just launched CNG-powered buses by President Tinubu. Moving on, President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Didi Walsin-Jack as the new head of civil service of the Federation nearly a month after he approved her appointment on July 17. Walsin-Jack took the oath of office at the council chamber of the Aso Rock Villa Abuja on Monday, just before the commencement of the Federal Executive Council FEC meeting. She succeeds Folashade Yemieso, who served as the substantive HOS from March 4, 2020 until August 12, 2024, a day before she attained the retirement age of 60. After the swearing-in, she Didi Watson promised to build on existing reforms and build innovations and creativity to the sector.
As the head of civil service of the Federation, and we must learn from her more of commitment to duty, loyalty, and great vision. She served our nation exceptionally well with distinction, guiding the civil service through significant transformation and reform. Our dedication to enhancing efficiency, transparency, and professionalism has set a high standard for public administration in this country. As she stepped down, we express our deep gratitude for her unwavering commitment and the significant impact she has made in our country. Officially, Mrs. Did Esther Watson Jack Owen as the new head of service of the Federation. Mrs. Watson Jack may step in for. Is she around?
I would like to say that I'm looking forward to building on the existing reforms in a way that will bring in innovation and creativity so that the civil service bureaucracy can be more effective and more efficient to deliver on the renewed hope agenda.
All public servants must understand that they're here to serve the nation, not to serve any other body but the nation. And I'd just like to appeal to them that always they should put the progress of the nation first before any other thing. And with that, I'm sure Nigeria will attain the greatness that God has proposed it. Sincerely, I have not assessed myself. I leave it for other people to assess. But one thing I have done is to put in my best into the service. And I'm glad that people that I worked with acknowledge that I did my best.
It's time for a short break. When News Now returns, Iran rejects Western calls to stand down Israel threat. Stay with us for details.
Cut. All right. What's your name again? Kemi?
Yes, sir.
Good. Are you ready for us for next week?
Yes, sir.
Next.
No, sir. No.
What? Look, what we need here is one who can speak fluent English. Give her a chance.
I need a angel to hold me. Hold me, my beautiful angel.
Cut! It is Angel, not Angel. Please, I'm done with you. Excuse us. Kemi was far better.
It's not about our rendition. It's not about our performance here. By the time she and her friends join us in our hotel rooms, you will know how far.
Can I have her phone?
She has a robust profile.
Real robust profile. I do not undercut professional ethics. It is an act of corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption.
Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. The Kano State Police Command has transferred 76 Russian flag-flying suspects, including a foreign national, to the force headquarters in Abuja for discreet investigation on charges of sedition. Addressing the press on Monday, the Kano State Commissioner of Police, Salwan Garba, provided updates on the ongoing investigations and arrests concerning the unrest. The commissioner also revealed that 150 individuals have been arrested and are being prosecuted for violating the curfew imposed by the Kano State government during the protest. We also informed you that President Bola Tinubu has commissioned 30 hybrid compressed natural gas CNG-powered buses donated by the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, DAPMAN, at the State House in Abuja on Monday. Speaking at the commissioning, President Tinubu says that utilizing natural gas to power Nigeria's transportation industry aims to ease the burden of transportation on the citizens brought following the removal of fuel subsidy. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Well, let's switch over to business news. Joy Uchejim has the latest. What's happening, Joy?
Thank you, Simi. Well, the Bank Directors Association of Nigeria has called on the federal government to reconsider the recently imposed 70% windfall tax on banks' earnings from foreign exchange transactions. In a statement on Monday, the chairman of BDAN, Mustafa Chikeobi, described the levy as excessively burdensome and ill-timed. Chikeobi, who is also the chairperson of Fidelity Bank, said the high tax rates could stifle growth and innovation within the banking industry, ultimately affecting the quality of financial services available to customers and the broader economy. He also said there was a need for greater consultation and dialogue between the government and stakeholders in the banking sector before enacting such significant changes. Still on business, the Central Bank of Nigeria and FBN Holdings PLC have asked the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos to dismiss a suit filed by an investment firm, Barbican Capital Limited, over the alleged alteration of its alleged 5.3 billion units of shares in the bank. However, in a written address in response to the motion on notice filed by its counsel, Babajide Koku, FBN Holdings PLC has informed the court that the plaintiff deliberately concealed the fact of an ongoing verification exercise by the CBN of its alleged significant shareholdings, according to court records. The bank says the primary purpose of instituting the suit was to circumvent the verification exercise and the decision taken by the CBN against the plaintiff, Barbican Capital Limited. We'll go on a short break and return with stock market reports. Welcome back. Another trading day, another dip for the Nigerian stock market, which closed in the red today, dropping by 0.5%. The market value is now sitting at around 55.3 trillion naira. Owando took the biggest hit on Tuesday, losing almost 10% of its value and closing at 14 naira 20 kobo per share. Livestock feeds wasn't far behind at 2 naira 27 kobo. Now the market saw a decent pickup on Tuesday compared to Monday. We traded around 599 million shares shares worth around 13.9 billion naira in over 11,000 deals. Now that's a pretty good jump because we got some 20% more shares which changed hands. We made 18% more money and there were 6% more deals. Now on to global markets. Our select equities had a pretty good day on Tuesday, reaching their highest point in almost 2 weeks. This happened because new economic data suggested that inflation might be cooling down. Now in the foreign exchange markets, the naira took another hit today and it is now trading at a whopping 1,588 naira to $1 on the British market. The British pound is at 2,070 naira and the euros is at 1,715 naira. Not good news for Nigerians. That's all for now on business and stock market. Let's see what else is making the headlines. Over to you, Simi.
Thank you very much, Joy. And on the foreign scene, Iran has dismissed calls by France, Germany and the United Kingdom to stand down its threat against Israel after the assassination of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran last month. According to a statement by the spokesman of Iran's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nasser Kanani, the request lacks political logic and contradicts principles of international law and also constitutes public and practical support for Israel. Kanani says Iran is determined to deter Israel and called on the three countries to once and for all stand up against the war in Gaza and the warmongering of Israel. Firefighters in Greece battled scattered fires on Tuesday in hopes of containing the remains of a major wildfire that burned into the northern suburbs of Athens, triggering multiple evacuations and leaving at least one person dead. With strong winds that had fanned the flames on Sunday and Monday dying down overnight, the fire department says the fire no longer had any active advancing front as firefighters focused on extinguishing hundreds of slow-burning areas. Dozens of homes and businesses were reported to have burned, although authorities did not yet have an exact number. Winds strengthened again on Tuesday afternoon, but no new major flare-ups have been reported. And on sports, ahead of the first leg preliminary round of Total Energies CAF Champions League 2024-2025 encounter against Comoros Island champions is Zelamoji. Rangers international manager Fidelis Ikechukwu says his team is ready for the showdown. The double coach of the season 2024 award-winning tactician says he is optimistic about starting the continental contest on a bright note despite losing some quality players that helped the Flying Antelopes emerge league champions. Zelamoji will host the first leg at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in New York this weekend. The Rivers fixture will hold at the same venue a week later. Still on sports, head coach of Nigeria's women's under-18 handball team, Adewumi Shitu, has released the final list of players that will represent the country at the 10th edition of the IHF Women's Under-18 Handball Championship in China. Shitu announced the squad shortly before the team's departure for China on Monday via Egypt Air to arrive in Shuzhou, the venue of the competition, on Tuesday. Nigeria will begin their campaign against Croatia on Wednesday and take on Montenegro the next day before facing continental rivals Angola for their final group game on Saturday. Well, that's it on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.